ministers, the people of Christmas Island, the members of parliament, and all the staff for that wonderful opening ceremony to commence our 43rd General Assembly here on Christmas Island, Kiribati. I now call this General Assembly to order. It is now 10:26 a.m., Friday, June 26th, with our theme, Bridging Distances, Strengthening Links. With that, I'd like to recognize our Honorable Vice President of the APIL to please call the roll of attendance by country.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now I call the roll call by country name. America and Samoa. Okay. Commonwealth of CNMI. Thank you. The FSM State of Chuk. Morning. FSM State of Kusurai. Thank you. FSM State of Pohnpei.
President.
Thank you. FSM State of Yap. Thank you. Island of Guam. Okay, go ahead. Republic of Kiribati. Republic of the Marshall Island. Thank you. Republic of Palau.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We have established a forum to go ahead and proceed forward with our general assembly. Now move down to the next item of the agenda, which is the opening remarks and public reports. And just like at the board meeting, I would like to go ahead and start with APIL member to my right, and that is the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. I recognize Representative Denita Yanktamai.
Thank you, President. Papaday,
Amaga Omogaan, Lesser Mamai, Mayu and Mauri, distinguished guests, fellow leaders, and residents of our beautiful Christmas Island. Please bear with me as I update you on what we have done with the resolutions from our last meeting. But first, a story of a Marshallese dragon with a Kushayan name, Sinlaku. We gather today in the shadow of the greatest environmental challenge our Commonwealth has faced in a generation. In late April of this year, Super Typhoon Sinlaku, a historic Category 4 monster from the Marshall Islands, tore through our waters. Fueled by unprecedented ocean temperatures, it unleashed sustained winds of 150 miles per hour and gusts that exceeded 185 miles per hour for more than 50 harrowing hours. These storms stalled over our island, subjecting our people to a relentless assault of wind, rain, and catastrophic storm surges. It became the deadliest cyclone to strike our region since 2002, strategically claiming 17 lives across the Western Pacific and leaving a deep scar on our hearts. The scale of destruction across our islands, was staggering. On Saipan alone,
Our economic and administrative heart, the damage was immense. Over 7,000 homes were damaged or entirely destroyed, displacing more than 13,000 of our neighbors. The storm wiped out up to 60% of Saipan's livestock, striking a devastating blow to our local farmers and food security. Island-wide blackouts left thousands in the dark, silencing water wells and crippling our airports. On Tinian, where the other director, Senator Jude Hofschneider is from, on Tinian, the isolation magnified the crisis. The fierce winds and high surges tore through infrastructure, severing power lines and blocking critical supply routes. For days, our brothers and sisters on Tinian stood cut off, facing the daunting task of assessing loss without immediate access to the outside world. On Rhoda, torrential downpours and flash flooding severely eroded roadways and compromised local utilities. The storm threatened the unique ecological and agricultural systems that define the island, resting the endurance of every household. Yet, the story of Super Typhoon Sinlaku is not ultimately a story of tragedy. It is a story of unmatched resilience. Even as the winds howled, the spirit of the Marianas remained unbroken. In the immediate aftermath, our communities rose to the occasion. Neighbors cleared debris from blocked roads using bare hands and personal tools. Local organizations like the Salvation Army and Samaritan's Purse opened emergency disaster kitchens, serving hot meals to thousands. Side by side with regional and federal partners, including Azuda Network, we heard from Carlotta yesterday, FEMA, the US, Army Corps of Engineers, and the International Organization for Migration, we initiated a massive emergency response. We deployed generators to restore critical water wells, established distribution points for food and fuel, and began temporary roofing operations to give families immediate shelter. Today, as we look out at Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, we see islands actively rebuilding. Millions of dollars from the FEMA Disaster Relief Fund are being deployed, not just to repair what was broken, but to fortify our ports. Will always overcome. That's the story of the Marshallese Dragon. And now, the Sinamay key economic drivers and challenges, I'll just list them down, but if you need me to elaborate, we can talk it over tea time. Okay, so we have tourism decline, fiscal crisis, utility burdens, an update, while recovery efforts, hold on. Take a break, sorry. While our recovery efforts is foremost, we continue to strongly advocate for cabotage and tourism. We've been hearing a lot about this. Again, if you wanna add the detail, then we can talk it over later. Broadband infrastructure and funding. Oh, no, maybe I should read it out. Leaders from the CNMI and Guam test for cabotage and tourism. Leaders from the CNMI and Guam testified before the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources on June 17, 2026, pushing for the air cabotage waivers to combat severe travel isolation and skyrocketing airfares by requesting a waiver for for exemption from federal air cabotage laws. The restrictions which prevent foreign carriers from operating between U.S. points have created monopolistic airfare pricing and severe travel limitations. The CNMI advocated for economic relief. Both administrations highlighted that exorbitant ticket prices ranging from $2,000 to $4,000 per flight hinder tourism, resident travel, and the overall quality of life. Our CNMI and Guam delegate to the U.S. House continue to fight this uphill battle by introducing H.R. 8786 to grant cabotage exemptions to foreign carriers. Aim to provide a special cabotage exemption to allow foreign air carriers from Japan, the Philippines, and South Korea to fly to and from Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands without violating U.S. aviation law during the 118th Congress. In the 119th Congress, H.R. 1536 was introduced to continue our push for cabotage exemption. In addition, CNMI tourism and business leaders are strongly backing this relief alongside travel programs such as the EVS TAP to restore flights from Asian markets. Number two, broadband infrastructure and funding. BEAD sub-grant agreement signed in May 2026 between the CNMI government and IT&E. The $31 million project combines over $31 million in NTIA BEAD funds with a nearly $22 million private match. Network build-out will result in 100% underground fiber to the home network designed to withstand typhoons, targeting areas previously lacking 100 by 20 Mbps speeds. Target speeds, the newly deployed fiber infrastructure is designed to provide guaranteed 100 by 20 Mbps access with potential speeds scaling up to 5,000 by 5,000 Mbps. Pacific Connect Initiative, PCI, backed by Google, CNMI is developing a core connectivity hub on Tinian, utilizing Federal Capital Projects Fund, CPF, allocations to land up to 4 subsea fiber cables, diverting infrastructure to bypass Guam. Number 3, health. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, CHCC, is constructing the CNMI's first ever MRI facility in Lower Navy Hills, Saipan. The 4,300 square foot facility is expected to be completed in August or September of 2026, saving patients thousands of dollars by eliminating the need to travel to Guam or Hawaii for critical imaging. Services, in addition to the brand new MRI machine, the facility will house a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. The new facility will allow CHCC to perform over 1,200 annual scans, which is a massive upgrade for the CNMI's diagnostic capabilities. Number 4, fuel costs. Rising fuel costs in the CNMI are driven primarily by the territory's near total reliance on imported petroleum products and surging global oil prices. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, particularly escalations involving Iran, have disrupted regional supply chains, causing crude oil and ultra-low sulfur ULS diesel prices to soar. The specific drivers affecting the pump prices and utility bills include global geopolitical conflict, the ongoing tensions and strikes in the Middle East, where the CNMI's primary Asian suppliers source their oil, have driven global benchmark oil prices sharply higher. Long supply chains. The CNMI is located at the tail end of a long supply chain, making it vulnerable to oil market volatility and added freight charges. Increased shipping surcharges. Freight forwarders, such as Triple B forwarders, have increased fuel-related surcharges to pass through the high cost of maritime shipping and skyrocketing utility costs. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, CUC, relies heavily on diesel to generate electricity. When global diesel prices double, CUC's fuel expenses surge dramatically, necessitating emergency hikes to the fuel adjustment charge, also called FAC, for consumers. In response to these mitigating factors, there are two major utility-scale solar farm initiatives currently in the process. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, CUC, recently issued a notice of intent to award a multi-million-dollar contract for a multi-island solar and battery project. Meanwhile, the Commonwealth Ports Authority, CPA, formalized a memorandum of understanding with a private developer for a solar farm on Saipan. Number one, CUC Multi-Island Solar PV plus BESS project, BESS. Okay. Number two, CPA Airport Solar Farm. And yes, those are the two. So APIL colleagues, this concludes my country report on the challenges that the CNMI is currently facing, and what it is doing to resolve them as it continues to sail smoothly onward. Si Zeus Maasi, Gliso Koraba. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, CNMI. We now proceed to the FSM State of Chuk.
Honorable President, Let's my respect to you, Hero, to the officers of APIL, and to all my fellow legislative leaders and delegates gathered here for this general assembly. My utmost and sincere respect to you, my Hero. I am truly honored having this privilege and opportunity to express my respect and hero to His Excellency Danadi Mamal, President of the Republic of Kiribati, the Honorable Mikar De Tamari, Minister for Line and Phoenix Island Development, and the distinguished members of the Cabinet. My deepest respect to you, my hero. And my profound respect and hero also to the Honorable Willie Togaten, Speaker of the Maneaba Maungatabu, the Honorable Ruda Pabo Nemta, Deputy Speaker, and all the members of the Parliament of Kiribati. My deepest and sincere respect to you, my hero. I further extend my heartfelt respect to the traditional community, youth, and religious leaders, and to the wonderful people of Kiribati. Thank you so much for your continued warmth and the profound hospitality that has made us feel so at home since our arrival on your beautiful shores. For the newcomers for the day, my name is Andrew Yamamoto, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as a member of the Senate in the 18th State Legislature and representing our chamber in the APIL Board of Directors. bringing distances and strengthening links, speaks directly to the core of our survival and prosperity as Pacific Island nations. For generations, the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean have defined it is the backbone of our economies, the bridges of our healthcare and educational system, and the bond that keeps our families connected. Currently, the high cost and unpredictable nature of travel between our islands restrain our growth, limit our trade, and isolate our communities from one another. If we are to champion true regional development, we must collectively invest in, advocate for, and build a transportation network that offers consistent and affordable shipping and aviation options. We must make it easier for the citizen of Chile to reach Kiribati, for goods to move seamlessly across Micronesia and Polynesia, and for our local industries to access regional markets. By fixing our connectivity, we breathe life into our economies and ensure no island is left stranded in the wake of progress. As we open this General Assembly, let us remember that strengthening our links begins right here in the dialogues we share and the resolutions we pass. Let us work together over the coming days to transform the tyranny of distance into a triumph of unity. Compromising the Senate with 10 members and the House of Representatives with 28 members. The leadership of the 18th state legislature remain dedicated to guiding our legislative priorities. The Senate continues to be led by the Honorable Arnold H. Coney, President, the Honorable Wisney Nakayama, Vice President, and this lowly floor leader speaking on this floor right now. And the House of Representatives maintains its presiding leadership under the Honorable Esther D. Mersley, Speaker, the Honorable Andrew A. May, Vice Speaker, and the Honorable Wayne Ola, Floor Leader. The legislature has remained highly active, convening across its regular and subsequent special sessions to pass critical statutory amendments, appropriate operational funds, and maintain robust oversight over state public resources. Environmental and disaster responses. Human oil spill update. Following the great environmental crisis that began in September last year, 2025, regarding the sunken World War II vessel, Rio de Janeiro Maru of Human Island, I am pleased to share a positive update. Thanks to the overwhelming regional and international solidarity received, including the final technical intervention requested at our last gathering, the oil spill site has been temporarily contained. And we extend our profound gratitude to the government of Japan and Australia for providing the specialized technical expertise, equipment, and frontline assistance necessary to secure the site and mitigate further immediate damage to our marine environment, mangrove ecosystem, and local livelihoods. Long-term monitoring and remediation planning remain a priority. Typhoons in Lalu. Our islands were recently hit by typhoons in Lalu, which caused substantive damage to infrastructure, residential areas, and local agricultural resources across multiple communities. And recovery efforts are fully underway. We are grateful to report that FSM has been granted Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, assistance to aid in our long-term recovery and NGOs, local civil society organizations, and private donors who generously donated funds, relief supplies, and logistical aid and health security. All major infrastructure initiatives previously reported inside them remain active and ongoing. These include widespread dispensary construction projects, school construction projects aimed at upgrading rural facilities, idle road development projects, and critical health improvement projects. The Chuk Water Supply and Sanitation Project, overseen by the Chuk State Public Utility Corporation, continues to expand access to clean water and reliable utility services. And plans for the construction of the new state hospital are moving forward. However, the actual commencement of construction is currently pending the final resolution of complete or complex land issue and title issues. The legislature and executive branches are working together to resolve these legal hurdles. And let me also add that for the first time in the history of the Morlocks, and on the island of Sadawan in particular, coming this August, the island of Sadawan will be electrified. Schools, healthcare services, churches, and all private homes will be lighted up. And this is another project from the Chuk Public Utility Corporation. Institutional partnership and capacity building. The Chuk State Legislature gratefully acknowledges its enduring partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. Following past successful inductions, UNDP's continued support in providing legal drafting workshops and capacity building training for our legislative staff and members have been invaluable. This partnership continues to significantly enhance our institutional efficiency, legislative oversight, and legal frameworks. The Chuk State Legislature further acknowledges and thanks BIPT for recently hosting a capacity building workshop for our secretaries in Guam. In conclusion, Mr. President, honorable leaders, and fellow delegates, as we convene here for the 43rd ABIL General Assembly in Christmas Island, Chuk remains deeply committed to the collective success of our region. The shared challenges we face, from environmental vulnerabilities and climate disasters to complex infrastructure development, only reinforce the necessity of regional bodies like ABIL. So let us continue to build upon our shared resilience, strengthen our collaboratively frameworks, and drive a sustainable path forward for all island communities. Thank you. Nam Rapa, Inisugjapo, and God bless.
Thank you, FSM State of Chuk. We'll now proceed to the FSM State of Port Bay.
Kalangan, Honorable President, on behalf of the people of Port Bay, we bring Kasalelia to you, the Vice President, and the board members of the APIL. Greetings, Honorable Esmond S. Villagomez, President of the APIL. Honorable Vice President Kabuai, and my greetings greetings to the board and delegates of the 43rd General Assembly and the 66th Board of Directors. My respect to the people of Kiritimati. Mr. President, before I proceed with the opening remark, please allow me to introduce my colleagues or our delegation of Pohnpei. With me this morning is our floor leader, Honorable Senator Alfredson Latorre. Also with me is our Chairman of Health Committee, the Honorable Shelton Ned, who is also former president of API, 39th president. Also with me is Senator Ludwig from the Outer Island, Pohnpei, Nuvor. And with us is our able staff, our Chief of Legal Counsel, Ms. Carlela Carl Edgar, our Senior Advisor, Legal Advisor, Thomas Beckman, and our Acting Chief Clerk, Ms. Loyos Yetzer. And of course, alongside me, you know, the directors, Senator Simon and Senator Licana. And I'm their servant speaker of the 11th Legislature, Marvin Tigabu. Thank you for inviting the Pohnpei delegation. I would like to begin this opening remark with our delegation's expression to the gratitude to His Excellency President Taniti Mamao for the warm welcome that you and your people have extended to the ABIO delegation here this week. Your open message this morning has been an inspiration to all of us. I also would like to extend our delegation's most sincere to the Speaker, Willie Tokateke, to the honorable members of the Maneaba ni Maungatabu, and to your very capable staffs for making this remarkable gathering possible. As we all are aware that the theme of this year's General Assembly is bridging distance and strengthening links. When chosen to give our opening remark, I was cautioned that the power of words can either build bridges or burn them down. So choose them wisely. So my friends, the wisest choice of words are the fewest choice of words. So let me be brief. Bridging the distance across the vast ABI Pacific, a worthy theme, but how do we construct a bridge over thousands of miles of open ocean? My friends, consider this. Our ABI bridge is not made of stones or concrete. It is made of wood. It is not made of wood or steel. The substance of the bridge of ABIL Pacific is right here in this room today. My friends, we are the bridge. We are the heart. And we are the soul of that supporting structure that spans across the vast expanses of our ocean world. And let us all remember that the value of our ABIL bridge is only as good as the value of the destination that lie at the end of each side of our common pathway. Today, our bridge is stronger and more resilient than ever before. It is our love, it is our devotion, it is our commitment to one another that makes it possible for our people to cross our bridge of friendship and to share their destinies with each other. The best bridges are known for their strength, but with every engineering endeavor, the problems can arise. Back in the 1970s, near the end of the Trust Territory era, the Palawans announced with great pride and anticipation the construction of a massive bridge. It was to hold the worldwide record for its far-reaching, single-span, expanse across an open sea water. That open seaway, that ocean-going cargo vessels, and even naval warships could navigate under. But on September 27, 1996, that monumental bridge, which everyone had been crossing just a few days before, came crashing down. A terrible tragedy for the Republic of Palau. But that did not stop the Palawans' commitment to have their island joined together again. During our last General Assembly in Palau in August of 2024, we were able to cross a brand new bridge and a radical and improved one. That pride of not just Palawans, the pride of not just Palawans, but of all Micronesians. We focused on this year's theme, bridging distances, strengthening links. Let us all learn from the lessons of Palau. Bridges are fragile, and even the most ambiguous plans can lead to disaster. What is needed is not only high hopes, but deep resolve and abiding commitment to the best engineering practices is not the prime ingredient to building of the best and strongest of bridges. Each of the many resolutions that will be adopted by the APIL this week contains the phrase, now therefore be it resolved by the Association of the Pacific Island Legislature. This is the center message of all of the decrees that we will be issuing this week. Let our resolve bring true, for that is, in the last analysis, the very core substance of our APIL bridge. In conclusion, my friend, let it be said and long remembered that the strength, the majesty, and the power, and the endurance of our bridge can only be conceived and can only be sustained when it is built on the solid base of our own APIL foundation. Thank you, Mr. President. That is our opening remark. For our country report, let me turn over the floor to our able directors of APIL. Senator Digan. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. President, before I take it to the country report, I ask for your forgiveness for my voice is not really clear, but I will try to make sure that what I have prepared is understood by everybody. Before I do that, I extend to you the same respect, Vice President, honorable delegates, and ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to deliver the country report. It's going to be a short report, Mr. President. We have prepared a long written report to be submitted for the records in order for your annual report to reflect those accomplishments. Anyhow, Mr. President, I am only here to provide a summary of the report as follows. Please bear with me. One base state, I'm going to highlight those issues. First of all, the challenges and those issues that the legislature in Bombay State has addressed in regards to pertaining to resolution that is being adopted by this body. Let me start out with the challenges that we have been facing ever since First one is regarding the cost of living. Ever since during the trust territory time until last year, we were challenged with the cost of living. Of course, we all know that it's the same challenge that is being experienced across the Pacific. According to a study conducted by the Asian Development Bank for the 4 FSM states, it indicates that an annual inflation of 8%, 8% that is being, according to the study anyhow. Pohnpei has never made up with the increase of living. It has also established a minimum wage for the local government. We have 11 municipal government in Pohnpei State. Established a minimum wage for the local government, at the same time respectively established a minimum wage for the private sector. Now, let me highlight a report to you. What has Pohnpei State done with the resolutions that is being adopted, requesting the jurisdiction to enact legislation to address those issues? Mr. President, fellow delegates, I'd like to report that Pohnpei State was so instrumental in having to identify a solution, especially in the area of health. NCD, as you know, many of our API resolutions are related to NCD and other related health issues. Currently, the legislature is taking action on creating a functional diagnostics center designed and equipped with modern technology to meet, I think, same efforts that CNMI is trying to accomplish to meet the health needs of Pohnpei and our neighboring states. Knowing that in FSM there is no diagnostic center primarily to aid in early screening, and to detect health conditions and to prevent unnecessary medical referral abroad. Pohnpei has also enacted legislation focused on making population-based life force mortalities a central pillar of our preventive health care system. This is simply to combat increasing burden of NCD in Pohnpei. Now, Mr. President, fellow delegates, I now touch on the issue of economic development and transportation. I'd like to proudly announce that the Pohnpei State has been working with our good neighbor, and signed a letter of intent. Our speaker, the Honorable Marvin Yamaguchi, Pohnpei State Legislature, and the Minister of Transportation Government of the Marshall Islands, that has led to an adoption of the resolution number 6 by the Nijijila, supporting the inter-island transportation utilizing MV Suramai to link up with Pohnpei State on trade and commerce. I would like to, Mr. President, fellow delegates, I would like to ask that we pause a little bit on behalf of Pohnpei and give the delegation of Marshall Islands who are here with us today a big round of applause. Thank you, Marshall Island. Thank you, delegates. In this regard, Mr. President, I know that my good speaker, Yamaguchi, has touched a little bit on the issue of on the theme of this 43rd General Assembly. bridging the distance, strengthening the linkages. I would like to mention that we have a resolution, among those resolutions that are going to be introduced Monday next week. I would like to mention that we have a resolution addressing what we think that is probably able to link our jurisdiction in order to enhance our economy. That resolution simply encourages the jurisdiction to start dialoguing with your neighbor, has the same roots that we have done with our good friend from Marseille. Anyway, Mr. President, fellow directors, may I cut off? I think it's good enough. I think everybody is satisfied with my report. And thank you very much, and Mr. President, fellow directors, Caselelia.
I was gonna say, ask your speaker if it's okay. Is it okay, Mr. Speaker? Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you again, FSM State of Pohnpei. We'll now proceed to the Republic of the Marshall Islands.
Kumultada President Villa-Gomez, Honorable President, Honorable Vice President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, brothers and sisters of the Pacific. My respect to each and every one of you. Speaker President Waze sends his regret for not being with us or able to be with us this morning, joining us for the 43 General Assembly to do some as important matters to be taken care of at home. So he sends not one, not two, but three of us to represent him. And to my right is Parliament Member Wilbur Aini, who is also one of the directors. He is also the chairman of Health, Education and Social Affairs Committee of our Parliament. To my left is Senator or Parliament Member David Anidok, who is the chair of the Nuclear and Climate Change Committee. And myself, Senator Adding, I am one of the 33 members of the Parliament, and I am currently the chairman of the Appropriation Committee. With us, we have our very capable legal counsel, Mr. Joe Lamai, behind us. And we want to thank Speaker Raje, even though he's not here with us, for sending us to be among the members that are participating in the 43 General Assembly here in Christmas Island. Warm greeting from the Nidijala and the people of the Republic of the Marshall Islands. At the outset, I extend our sincere appreciation to the government and the people of the Republic of Kiritimati for their kind hospitality and warm welcome here in Christmas Island. We are grateful for the care and effort that has brought us together in this special part of the Blue Pacific. The theme of this assembly, bridging distances, strengthening links, speaks deeply to the Pacific way of life. Across our vast ocean, Thyssen has always been part of our reality, but connections has always been our strength. Our ancestors bridged these distances through knowledge, courage, and unity, linking islands, people, and culture across generations. Today, we carry that responsibility forward. In the Marshall Islands, bridging distances remains both a challenge and a national priority, especially for our other island communities. We are mindful that distance can still mean unequal access to essential goods, services, and opportunities. Strengthening links, therefore, Reform Act 2025, we are building a more open, inclusive, and competitive telecommunication environment. At the same time, satellite technologies, particularly the growing use of Starlink services, are extending connectivity to our most remote islands. These efforts are doing more than improving communication. They are strengthening the links between people and services, connecting students to education, families to information, and communities to new economic opportunities across the digital space. Bridging distance also means strengthening economic and social link within our society. We have introduced a universal basic income initiative through which eligible citizens receive up to $200 quarterly. This support helps ease the cost of living and strengthen the link between national development and also resilience, particularly for those in our most remote and vulnerable communities. In addition, we are strengthening the link between work and dignity through progressive wage reform. Our National Minimum Wage Act will increase to $5 per hour this coming October, and with a further increase to $5.25 per hour scheduled for October next year. These measures are intended to ensure that economic growth translate into meaningful improvement of lives of our people. At the institutional level, we continue to bridge the distance between government and the people we serve. The reconstruction of the Nidijala building is now about 70% complete and is expected to be finalized by August or no later than September this year. This is not only the rebuilding of a structure, but the strengthening of the democratic space where national dialogue and decision-making take place. Looking forward, we will further strengthen these links through our Constitutional Convention election on July 10th, 2026. This process will consider 4 proposed constitutional amendments, including a proposal to allow for the direct elections of the president by the people. Currently, the parliament, Nidijala, elect the president. This reflects our continued commitment to deepening participation and strengthening the connection between leaders and citizens. Excellencies, dear colleagues, for the Marshall Islands, bridging distances is not a single effort. It is a continuous journey. It is about strengthening the links that connect our islands, empower our people, and sustain our shared future as one Blue Pacific. As As we gather here, let us continue to work together in the spirit, bridging the distances and that separate us and strengthening the links that unite us. Kumulada, thank you very much, and Ubasan Roba.
Thank you, RMI. We'll now proceed to the Republic of Palau. Recognized.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. President and Honorable colleagues. For Palau, we're going to have Delegate Stephanie Inoue to deliver our statement.
Ali, and good morning to you all. Mr. President Villa Gomez, Vice President Y, Excellencies, esteemed delegates, and distinguished guests of the Association. We want to take this opportunity and give our warmest regards and respect to His Excellency Taniti Maumau, President of the Kiribati, Honorable Speaker Toka Ta'ake, honorable members of the Parliament, government, and the people of Christmas Island and the whole Kiribati for their warm welcome and hospitality since we arrived. Most especially the delicious abundance of lobsters and sweet coconuts is a great plus. Thank you. It is my distinct pride and honor to present on behalf of our delegation. I must first give my respect and appreciation to our leadership, Floor Leader Mario of the Senate, Floor Leader Umetaro of the House of Delegates, Senator Pedro, for giving me the opportunity to give our country report. I would like to also take this opportunity and thank our lovely staff, Beverly and Daphne, for their support and assistance. The Republic of Palau is pleased to share with you its accomplishments, challenges, and future opportunities. On behalf of the Olbira Kalulao, our National Congress, and the people of the Republic of Palau, we extend our sincere appreciation to the Parliament of Kiribati for hosting the 66th Board of Directors meeting and the 43rd General Assembly of the Association of the Pacific Island Legislatures, or APIL. The Republic of Palau is honored to participate in this year's assembly under the theme, Bridging Distances and Strengthening Links. This theme resonates with realities faced by the Pacific Island nations, whose geographic location presents continuing challenges in transportation, communication, trade, tourism, and economic development. At the same time, it reflects our collective determination to strengthen regional cooperation and build meaningful connections among our people and institutions. As a small island developing nation or state located in the westernmost Pacific, Palau recognized that connectivity is essential to economic opportunity and regional collaboration. Reliable transportation links, digital connectivity, and effective communication systems are critical for overcoming the challenges of distance and isolation. To address these challenges, Palau has undertaken significant investments in telecommunications and digital infrastructure. The Republic continues to work with development partners to improve airport and seaport facilities, expand broadband and telecommunication services, and strengthen digital government capabilities. These efforts have enhanced connectivity within Palau and improved access to regional and global markets, services, and information. For Palau, bridging distances means not only improving physical and digital connectivity, but also strengthening the relationships that unite Pacific nations. Through collaboration, innovation, and shared commitment, Palau remains dedicated to building stronger links among Pacific legislatures, governments, and communities to advance a more connected, resilient, and prosperous region. Palau continues to work with regional and international partners to strengthen air transportation, modernize telecommunications infrastructure, improve maritime services, and enhance access to digital technologies. These efforts support not only domestic development, but also at a greater engagement with neighboring Pacific countries. A practical example of Palau's commitment to bridging distances and strengthening links is its effort or continued effort to expand air connectivity with regional and international partners. Despite its geographic isolation, Palau maintains regular scheduled air service linking the country to major regional hubs and neighboring Pacific Island nations. Direct flights operated by United Airlines connect Palau with Guam, the Manila, Philippines, and Narita, Japan. China Airlines provides services to Taipei and Taiwan. Nauru Airlines connects Palau with Ponape, Majuro, Tarawa, Nauru, and Brisbane through the island hopper. And Qantas Airways provides services to Brisbane. In addition, charter services operated by Cambodia Airways, Hong Kong Airlines, Philippine Airlines, and the Greater Bay Airlines further strengthen Palau's connections with key tourism and business markets in Asia. These air links play a vital role in facilitating tourism, trade, investment, educational exchanges, medical referrals, and people-to-people connections, while also supporting regional cooperation among Pacific Island countries. By expanding and maintaining reliable transportation networks, Palau continues to reduce the barriers of distance and strengthen its links with neighboring countries and the broader international community. Excuse me. In recent years, Republic of Palau has faced growing concerns regarding the increasing presence and the use of illegal drugs, particularly methamphetamine, commonly known as ice. Like many countries in the Pacific region, Palau has experienced the social, economic, and public health consequences associated with the substance abuse, including its effects on families, communities, workplace productivity, public safety, and the delivery of government services. The emergence of methamphetamine as a significant threat has presented new challenges for law enforcement, healthcare providers, and policymakers. The highly addictive nature of the drug and its harmful impact on individuals and communities have heightened concerns about public safety and the long-term well-being of the population. Recognizing the need for a stronger and more coordinated response, the Olvida Halulao, our National Congress, has taken legislative action to strengthen prevention, enforcement, and the rehabilitation efforts while promoting accountability among public officials entrusted with serving the people of Palau. In response to these challenges, the Olvida Halulao enacted RPPL 12-5 to enhance the Republic's drug prevention, enforcement, and rehabilitation framework. RPPL 12-5 substantially strengthened the drug testing requirements for designated government employees, including law enforcement officers, custom officers, immigration officers, airport security officers, quarantine officers, and other public officials whose duties directly affect public health and safety. The legislation increased the frequency of mandatory drug testing, expanded testing requirements of applicants for national government employment, and established stricter consequences for confirmed drug use. Recognizing the growing social and economic impacts of substance abuse, the Olvida Halulao also established mechanism to direct proceeds derived from the drug-related asset forfeitures, fines, and fees toward dedicated drug enforcement and rehabilitation efforts. The law created a drug enforcement fund to enhance Republic's capacity to detect and combat illegal drugs, and drug rehabilitation fund to support public awareness initiatives, treatment services, and recovery programs. In addition, the RPPL 12-5 strengthened penalties for methamphetamine-related offense, reflecting the Republic's commitment to zero-tolerance approach towards dangerous narcotics in its determination to protect communities from the harmful effects of the drug use or abuse. One of the zero-tolerance approaches in this law that it prohibits the knowing possession of a controlled substance, including its presence in the person's blood, urine, or other bodily fluids unless lawfully prescribed or otherwise authorized. The presence of controlled substance in bodily fluids is treated as a possession of less than 1 gram of the substance, which is punishable by mandatory penalty of 5 to 10 years imprisonment and a minimum of 10,000 fine for the first conviction. This legislation demonstrates Palau's commitment to maintaining public confidence in government institutions, safeguarding public safety, strengthening law enforcement capabilities, and addressing the challenges posed by substance abuse through both enforcement and rehabilitation measures. In conclusion, through legislative action, regional cooperation, and strategic investments in connectivity and infrastructure, Palau continues to address the challenges associated with geographical isolation while creating new opportunities for economic growth and social progress. The theme of this year's General Assembly, Bridging Distance, Strengthening Links, reflects the shared aspirations of the APIL to overcome barriers of distance through collaboration and partnership. Palau believe that strong connections among our legislatures, our governments, our people, and our communities are essential to building a more resilient, secure, and prosperous Pacific region. Thank you.
Thank you, Republic of Palau. We'll now proceed to the Republic of Kiribati.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I proceed, I would like to invite Member of Parliament, his new Mr. Pindo. Mr. President, Honorable Speaker, Members of Parliament, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lebanon Nauri. On behalf of the people of Kiribati, I am honored to take this opportunity to present our country report to this 43rd General Assembly of the Association of Pacific Island Legislature here convening on Christmas Island. Before I continue to the report, I would like to illustrate what Kiribati is in order to understand how come the team bridging distance, strengthening links. For your information, my fellow colleagues, Kiribati has 33 small tiny islands which located in 3 different time zones, from the east to the west. Christmas is in the Line Islands. They are on the east. That's why we call it the island to see the sunlight. 2 hours ahead from Palau. The next is the Phoenix Island. It's located in the middle of the west and the east. We call it the Phoenix Islands. And 1 hour ahead from Palau. Karas we call it Kiribati, is in the west part of the Kiribati Islands. And most of the people living there is about 130,000 people living in the islands, Kiribati, at the west of the Kiribati Islands. That's why we are developed the theme bridging distance and strengthening links, because we are scattered along 3 different time zones with a 4 hours flight to here. Mr. President, I will continue. The theme of our meeting, bridging distance, strengthening links, is relevant to Kiribati. It speaks directly to our national reality as a country made up of islands scattered across a vast ocean that I mentioned. For our people, distance is not only a geographical issue. It's also an economic issue, a social issue, and a development issue. Kiribati depends heavily on shipping, air services, fuel supply, and communication network to connect our highlands and save our people. When transport is reliable, our people can move goods and can arrive on time. Business can operate, and government services can reach communities. But when transport becomes expensive or unreliable, the effects are felt by everyone. Because of the war in some part of the globe, in Middle East, Europe, and other areas, Kiribati experienced the rising of fuel, the cost of the fuel, and transportation costs as well, which are part of our major challenge nowadays. When fuel prices rise, our highlands, the cost of shipping and air travel also increases. So this then affects the price of food, building materials, medicine, electricity, school supplies, and other basic food. It also affects our island communities, local businesses, public service delivery, health referrals, education support, and the general cost of living. Mr. President, the challenge, I hope, is not faced by Kiribati, but most of our members as well. I think we see similar difficulties because of remoteness, small population, limited market, and also we are dependent on imported fuel. This is why our theme is important. It reminds us that our highlands are separated by distance. Our challenges are closely connected. For Kiribati, bridging distance requires both physically and digital links. We need stronger or reliable shipping and navigation services, but we also need better telecommunications, internet access, and digital systems. Better communication can reduce isolation, support education, improve health services, assist businesses, and help government reach the people more effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow colleagues, this afternoon, I hope that the two presentations from our government ministries officials will better highlight from Kiribati perspective. The presentation on digital connectivity in Kiribati by the Ministry of Information, Communication and Transport will highlight the importance of telecommunication and digital services in connecting our scattered islands. The other presentation on trade and investment in Kiribati by the Ministry of Tourism, Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives will also highlight how transport, trade, investment are connected and how our costs affect businesses and consumers. Together, this presentation will demonstrate that distance must be addressed in practical ways. Strong connection are essential for trade, tourism, fisheries, investment, public services, and community development. For Christmas only, these issues are critical. Since the island holds great potential into our infrastructure and communication. Mr. President and my fellow colleagues, Kiribati also continue to strengthen its democratic institution and national development effort. Our Maungatabu remains committed to serve the people through law-making, oversight, and representation. We also continue to focus on education, health, climate resilience, labor mobility, how the highland development, fisheries, and stronger cooperation with development partners. For our young people, bridging distance means access to education, skills, employment, and opportunities. For our families, it means better services and lower costs. For our business, it means access to market, reliable supply chains. And for our legislature, it means working together to support practical solutions for our communities. Mr. President, all members of the APIL and distinguished delegates, APIL provides an important platform for this operation. Through the APIL, we can share experience, learn from each other, and speak with a strong regional voice. On the other issue of rising fuel and transportation costs, we may not all have the same circumstance, but we can work together by sharing information, exploring practical options, and supporting policies that reduce burden on our people. Kiribati remains committed and continue committed to working with APIL members in the spirit of friendship, partnership, and mutual support. Although our islands are far apart, our shared commitment brings us closer together. In closing, I extend my sincere gratitude to the APIL leadership, whole and delegations, the Secretariat, our government, ministries, and everyone who has contributed to this successful important meeting. May this General Assembly strengthen our links, deepen our operation, and help us build a more connected and resilient future for our people. Comrade, I bestow upon you all a traditional blessing of the Lord, Roy, Tabung, health, peace, and prosperity. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiribati. And again, thank you for the warm hospitality and for hosting this year's 43rd General Assembly and 60, where are we at now? 66 or 65th? 66 Board of Directors meeting. All right, that will take care of our morning session. We will break for lunch, but before we do that, can we get a group photo? I didn't see that on the agenda, but I don't want to miss out on these beautiful shirts. So please, everybody, we'll go ahead and recess and come back at 1:30. But let's take this group photo for documentation and our memories. Thank you. Recess.